big, massive unit, and I mean, those stalwarts, they are just so incredibly tanky. They work good as anti-cav, they have high damage output, and the only thing that can really counter them is if you come from behind. But in those team battles, in those blob fights, you can hardly come from behind because everybody's protecting each other, and with 15 versus 15, how can you possibly come from behind? And I mean, those stalwarts, they will be a big point in here. I can already see some Modaos. I like how they are being played more often after their buff. Then also, of course, failings. Even though on the side of Rough Justice, I almost see no anti-cav. They have some Imperial Pikes, they have the stalwarts and the Orochi, but not too many of those tanky units, I would say, those dedicated anti-cavs with only 2 times failings. Then, of course, Rough Justice 2 times Flames, and on the other side APM as well. So Flames will be on board here. I've seen some Yenyu Daos being brought, of course, those not being banned is also a big point. And I mean, Cav won't really have a chance to do much here, but if those Yenyu Daos can come from a right angle, they will just be devastating in here. But of course also a massive commitment. I think 320 leadership, that's just a big one to spend here. And let's see where Rough Justice want to defend this one. So I don't know. Rough Justice, where can they possibly go? They are sending the units back. You can see it here. Only heroes in the front, units already sent back. So we won't see an A point this defense this time around. APM already quite quick on the towers. They want to push those forward. The middle one is already moving. The right one as well. The left one not. They probably already spotted the defenders sending back the units. And with that, they don't have to worry too much about how many towers they bring to the walls. They just have to bring some to the walls. And yeah, APM not quite willing to push up the ladders too much here. Some short swords trying to climb up, immediately being kicked back down. Artillery from both sides working on each other, and right now it's a quite calm start here. Nobody really overextending his stuff. Rough Justice with a ton of heroes here on the A point. One short sword, almost at the walls. Will he go for it? No. He decides other way around the chain that on the walls, dodges backwards, gets laid down, and oh, he is still alive. But oh, the musket Emperor Punk with drop dead on prefix here on the chain darts. That's jump onto the Culverine, didn't get the Culverine, still lost his life. Really unfortunate for the chain darts, and they still have one Culverine to deal with that is getting some of those stalwarts down, and that's quite unfortunate. Losing the hero, not getting the cannon down, but the defense is falling back. Rough Justice, nobody anymore on that cannon, only some units lost for APM. I would say quite good start here, not too much lost, no time lost here, towers clean on the walls, and with that A point capture and B point capture should be done quite soon here. APM, half of A point done, nobody going to B yet. They don't want to get pushed here. You can already see Rough Justice lurking around on the bottom of the stairs next to the C supply. They are still looking for some over-aggression here from APM, so I would say good call here from APM, not overextending to B before they can't go with full force there, because we have seen, especially from Yabadi, oftentimes where they just full commit to something like a rush to B, where only 2 or 3 heroes go with the units, which is just always some nice, easy free kills, and you can just fall back, take those 60 to 90 free kills, and then you get a small advantage. One unit of archers already set up on the supply point next to C. I could imagine that's incendiary archers, because usually the downside of incendiary archers is the ammunition they bring. And you know what? Staying on the supply point means you don't have to worry about ammunition. So that would be a good spot for those. APM going down the siege tower again? They are swapping some units, and I'm not really sure what they are looking for, because it feels like B point should be fine. 8 minutes 13 on the clock, so they still have plenty of time. But in the end, if time comes back and bite them, that would be pain. And you can already see the musket from Rough Justice here. Really aggressive, going to the outside walls now, running back. Did he get some of the flames? I don't think so. Flames should be fine and should be all good to go. Incendiary archers though are on the supply point, shooting towards that rotation. Did they get some of the flames? I don't think so. It should be still 7 flames alive, and we get the check. Here we go, 7 flames alive, perfect. Thank you to this observer. Very nicely done from APM, not losing those expensive special units. But I also like the play from Rough Justice here with the incendiary archers, because look at that. Some units are definitely falling to the ground here. And once again, APM, they didn't really achieve much with that rotation here. I would have liked to maybe go for the B point earlier, but look at that. The Rough Justice, they want to come out here. They want to take the fight. And it feels like APM, they had a feeling about that. Flames not really in a good spot. First solo goes out, not hits anything. And that means Rough Justice now come from every single direction. And that's exactly the problem with Stalwarts. B point almost captured. B point will be through, so the respawn is quite close here. But Rough Justice, they are just pushing with a ton of cheap units. That's nothing about above the 120 mark leadership-wise. And that means every single loss APM takes is really, really expensive, because they don't really trade well. All those green units here push out, push against APM. They get the upper hand, but the fight, oh my god, that's so expensive here. It feels like Rough Justice, they have now lost 200 to 300 units against APM, losing 150, but very expensive units. So I can't really tell who won this fight, but Rough Justice, they are still there. They are still on the C point. Nothing that can be rushed, and here we go. Unit-wise, 60 more, 50 more tier 5 units on the side of Rough Justice against the 30 more tier 4 units, 40 more tier 4 units. That's quite good for Rough Justice here, having the upper hand in tier 5, not really having too many last tier 4. So I'd say Rough Justice push out was successful, also tier 3 in the favor of Rough Justice, and now they have the the high ground here next to the supply. They have some flames themselves. Trap is going in. Is it good? I have no idea. Bombard, of course, not being placed here. And here we go. Fight is going in. Flames from Rough Justice, really strong. Flames from APM, not really on point. And that could be a massive difference. Stalwarts on the left-hand side, just blocking those stairs. 1 against 1. So the main fight will be here in the front. Cavalry, human going in. And those, oh my goodness. Rough Justice struggling with their anti-cav. We have seen before, they don't have too much dedicated anti-cav. So this one, Trap, also really strong, and feels like Rough Justice is losing that fight. APM is breaking through. Still, flames on the board for APM. I only see 1 left, but he is not getting caught from the musket. Supply, though, is not blocked, and that fight is just over like that. No chance for APM to really bring that one back after Supply was able to pull new units. And Rough Justice will stay put here in position. Really, really bad mistake here for APM not blocking that supply. They almost had it, but then reinforcements from the supply, they just made such a big difference. Trap on the supply, unfortunate, not really hitting much here. Cavalry almost getting caught there, but I think they are almost all fine. I see 2 unit models of the Yenyodaos lying on the ground, but that's all she wrote here with the Trap. APM now, they have lost a ton of units. You can see it here. Tier 5, 80 less than Rough Justice, and now also tier 4 in the disadvantage. APM on the back foot here, and they have to fight back. I thought that push, that would be maybe good. but in the end it wasn't, and now we can see here APM, they will probably struggle to get onto that point. They have to break through, get that supply at some point, or they are going straight to the C point, it feels like. Look at all those heroes grouping up next to C, but the units are staying on the bottom, so maybe it's just trying to fake a push on that side and then sending the units to the other side, but usually the defense has just such a small rotation away, while the attack has to rotate so far, so usually can't really outfake people here. Rough Justice also not committing too much to that side. Maybe APM can get some traps in, but in the end, APM, they will have to make the move to the main stairs, and it feels like that's exactly where we are going here. Rough Justice, they have some of their units ready here next to the supply, but where's this one going? You usually don't push that single stairs, and nope, they are not. APM once again going to the big staircase, going up. They have still plenty of units, so that's a full push. Heroes in the front trying to snipe off some of the units here left behind from Rough Justice, and it feels like they did a quite good job. APM now on the move here to the right side, trying to go around the corner, of course. That's where you want to set up. They have some Rattan Pikes with them to debuff the enemies. They have still tons of their stalwarts in the front. Cavalry though, oh, that cavalry was not stopped at all. Rough Justice here with a beautiful cav charge, but also APM. The Hussars are quite good, but I don't know how much they really hit there, because they just charged straight past the front line. Yanyodaos from Rough Justice in the back, Human also in the back, but they are being stopped by the failings. The Yanyodaos as well, and it feels like that's quite even, that fight, even though Rough Justice, okay, they still got some more infantry here. Supply is not being blocked, so Rough Justice will be able to bring in some new reinforcements. The trap is good, but the fight is not. APM, they have one more unit of monastics, but that one will be stopped by their own trap, and the Yanyodaos from Rough Justice will clean this one up nicely, and with that, Rough Justice can just push APM out once again. It feels like the hopes are lost here. 2 minutes 40 is enough for one more push, but will it be enough units? Probably not. It's 526 against 712, and we can see here 110 unit difference in tier 5 and 60 unit difference in tier 4. That's just too much to handle. Almost anything left is tier 4 and tier 2 for APM, and that will not be good enough. They now are going for the C point itself, it seems like. That's the only way they can go. But still, fire archers on top, just constantly shooting down. It feels like that's all the green units gone. And that staircase is usually not where you want to go from, because you have to face 3 different directions, and they don't even get up. They don't even get to the point where they have to fight to 3 different directions. Rough Justice, they are just blocking the whole staircase. Yanyodaos going in. No anti-cav really left here. Yanyodaos just going straight through, and now the infantry here follows up, finishes the units off. And oh, the Outriders from behind also dealing massive damage. Beautiful trap here, might still hit some Rough Justice members, but that fight is just over. Almost anything left here is blue, and APM 1 minute 20 left. They have no chance here of coming back to that C point. Chainard could just step 1 foot here on the C point and capture it for a bit, but that won't really matter here. Last fight on that supply point with 3 units from APM, but they will be probably finished off quite quickly here, as Rough Justice is just still pulling new units, and they are just so incredibly dominant here in this first round. I felt like the first push from APM was quite good here, but then in the end they fell apart. They lost so many units there from the resupply of Rough Justice, and it feels like the first fight was almost the only one they really had a chance to win that C point fight. Oh my goodness. Rough Justice, they are just hunting the remaining units and heroes from APM. That will be no monkey gone. Stalwarts also being finished off. One more musket here. APM White Wing on the supply also dealt with last remaining hero here inside the city. Benodachi with some phalanx here in the back. He's gone, and the respawners won't have a chance to die here anymore. APM takes the victory. Rough Justice takes the victory, of course, here. Good job to Rough Justice. And APM, they have one more try here in the second round, but they can only tie now anymore. So, yeah, APM MVP Santa the Tender with 130 unit kills. Sadly, no hero kills. But I would say 130 unit kills are quite good, but looking down further the list, we also have 165 or 156 with No Monkey and Guild Show. So those two also getting quite high unit kills. Most heroes killed also from Guild Show here with 4, and now I would say we can look to the other side. Rough Justice MVP is Dandan with 3 hero kills and 113 unit kills. Most heroes killed from the side of Rough Justice is Emperor Punks with 7, and looking further down I can also see Robert here. We usually see him quite far up on the leaderboard, and I really can't tell apart from the support points why he's down there, because he has 6 hero kills and 160 unit kills. So Robert, I feel like he should be way further up. But yeah, let's have a look at the post-battle analysis. Here we go. First push onto the B point was quite good for APM. They got a 1-2, it feels like 1-2 more than 2 trades. So I feel like the green units from Rough Justice didn't do quite well, and then the push to the supply point was quite even on unit kills, but they fell off a bit. And then of course here in the end both fights to the C point were a victory for Rough Justice every time. A bit higher on the trade, and with that the victory here. But most importantly, I would say on the bottom we can see it here, 12 hero kills against 42. That's just such a massive difference. APM, they have to step up their unit killing abilities, because otherwise the hero killing abilities, sorry, because otherwise I can't really see a chance for them to win the second one if you just get traded more than 1 to 3 out here. Almost exactly the same. They have, I think, one time phalanx more than before. They have quite some Imperial Pikes. I kind of like to see them these days again, because they also fell off the meter and then came back in with the mastery, then fell off again, and now they are back with the Stalwarts, because they can count those Stalwarts, of course, in there really heavily again. Then some Yenyu does see 2 of them on the side of Rough Justice. They have some human as well, and then of course a ton of green units, but not too many here. And the defense, I felt like it was more of them, and I can see 3 times flames here for Rough Justice. On the other side, a quite similar picture. I feel like less green units, almost no green units here on the side of APM. A ton of Stalwarts, Shield Mains, Phalanx, and Flames, of course. 2 times Flames here for APM, 3 times for Rough Justice. And like that, we are loading in, and I'm interested to see if we will be seeing a A-point defense maybe, or a B-point defense. You can also try to defend the B-point, even though it will be hard to not drop C while you're defending the B-point. But yeah, you can try that one. Or if we are seeing a normal C-point defense, or if we are maybe even seeing a endpoint defense. I mean, you could also look towards a endpoint defense, And as I can almost see no units here towards that A point, I feel like we could have a Sally out here with heroes, but then the A point won't have too many units left here. I see one unit of Modals being pulled there, so quite some heavy investment here with the Modals. Nope, being sent back. Okay, no Modals there, only green units in the gate. Are they hiding? What are they trying to do? What's the plan here for APM? What exactly are they doing? They are hiding inside the gate. How many of them? How many is this? That's a ton of units, and that's some Rat and Pikemen with them. They are trying to get the hero engagement. They are going full in. They are pushing off the enemy heroes, but Rough Justice, oh my god, they just reacted so quickly. I really love the strat for APM. I feel like that's some quite funny strat here. Also, it can work out really well, but Rough Justice, they were just so quick. Nobody fell there. I mean, Rough Justice, they have just seen Rattan units and the heroes just don't go. Just fall back, we will take our time, don't fight it. Because if you fight this 15 versus 15, you are going to lose. One hero here, the Shield and Spear, in quite some danger. Will he fall? Who is it? Oh my goodness, he is about to fall. There we go. Peepo is dead as Hagelehre with the drop dead here. First kill done. And Rough Justice, they didn't lose one here on the A point to the ambush, but they got one in return here on Peepo, and A point will be captured. I've already seen some green units being finished off here also next to the C point stairs or supply stairs, and the B point will be captured here from from Rough Justice quite easily without any fight back. And supply point also sooner than later in the hands of Rough Justice here on the right hand side. APM, what is the plan? It feels like exactly the same we have seen from Rough Justice. I can already see one unit of archers next to the, or on the supply point, so they can just have always the ammunition. They will probably shoot towards that supply point on the bottom quite soon here. Don't really see them yet. Musket on the ladder. And we got a trap being called in. That one might hit some of the units, defenders. Oh, really unfortunate with the flames here. I only see 3 running away. Oh my goodness, how many flames died there? That's 6 flames. That trap completely wiped those flames. Oh my goodness, you just can't lose 6 of your 7 precious flames in that trap. How? Oh my goodness. That's just so unfortunate. Next trap being called here, last single unit of flames being finished off. Heroes on the supply point, so supply is blocked. The Phalanx try to stab so they can get rid of the heroes on the supply point. I see a team kill here from Barracuda onto Hagelehre, and then some heroes dying from Rough Justice as well. They are only sending it with heroes though. 4 heroes on the supply point. Trap with that one. So Trap, oh my goodness, that Trap is massive. Once again, Trap just hits into the thick of it. So many units dying here. Rough Justice, they just execute this to perfection. They just, and that trap will just bait so many more because they just run away from it. And oh, fortunate, very lucky for APM here, not losing any more units to that one. But you can just see so many units lying on the ground dead, and I'm not sure if APM really wants to switch them out. And here we go, we can see here Rough Justice with 30 units lead in tier 5, but being down almost 50 units here in tier 4, so not too much lost for APM, but I feel like their remaining units are a bit less quality here. And Rough Justice, they are sending it up straight to the C point. They got a full unit of flames. Where are the flames for the defense? APM, I see none. No remaining flames here. and that will be dangerous. That's really, really dangerous. One more beautiful trap here. Hitting some shots, not too much. Once again, lucky for APM to not lose too much here. But I don't see really a strat. They are just running around trying to avoid being hit here. Incendiary archers on a good spot here, shooting into Rough Justice units. So those will be damaged at some point. Trapped to force away the flank. But that one is just going straight through. And oh my god, Longsword just to throw them all over. And the push onto the point. I can only see 5 units here on the point, trying to stand strong here. Flames on the side of Rough Justice shooting in, and that feels just like sending in units one by one. APM, they don't have a full unit setup, they are just sending in units one by one. Trap for the flank here. Hussars going in without any charge into the phalanx. Won't really stand a chance getting anything done here. And APM, that defense was just so bad here. They didn't go in as one. It was just 5 in the front being finished off, then 5 in the back, and then some lone heroes here, some lone units fighting on the supply, as you can see on the bottom right here. That's not going to work against a full 12 people push or something. I don't know how many exactly it was, but Rough Justice, they just went in full from one side, and APM, they tried to somehow defend this, and as you can see here, unit trade devastating difference. 200 units less in tier 4 for APM, and then also 50 less tier 5. Not talking about the tier 2 in the bottom and the tier 3. Everything lower on the side of APM than on the side of Rough Justice, and that's just a beautiful fight here from Rough Justice. They could just finish this really, really quickly. They still have 1 unit of flames, and I don't see any flames here once again on the side of APM. They just brought 2. Where is... They should have 1 left, if I didn't miss one out. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much. There's the flames. Oh my goodness, I was just blind there. But that's the last unit of flames, and I think Rough Justice, they should have 2, if not 2.5 or maybe 3 units of flames left, depending on if the flames of the push before died or not. So at least 2 should be left for Rough Justice, and maybe a half left or something, but they probably won't even need it. You can see here the setup from Rough Justice on the walls with incendiary archers and the immense obelisks here on top, just to get some damage going and to force APM to move at some point. Incendiary archers going above the wall or above the gates. They're trying to shoot in from on top here. Trap going in next to the pillar, and that defense will have to step on the point really, really quick, because 1/4 already complete. Flames are shooting in from quite a distance here, in flank going in, and it feels like APM, they just can't get onto the point. Must get on the point, blocking that one, but the flames from Rough Justice, they are just getting so much damage done. Human from the back, no flank watch here. Beautiful human here, monastics as well. And that feels like a sliver of hope here. Will the heroes be able to get rid of the flames? It feels like not. Still a ton of blue here. And that infantry fight is just won from Rough Justice. Flanks were good from APM, but too late, too little too late. And with that, only blocking left here. Rough Justice, you can see it on top, 1.1k troops left. And APM not even 500 units left. That's just a devastating defeat here, and a beautiful victory from Rough Justice. Very well executed. They just have to get rid of the remaining heroes here on the point. Short Sword just surviving everything, as we're used to see it from Short Swords. The remaining units from APM try to force their way back to the point, but that's just impossible. You just can't come back from that. GG's, well played. Rough Justice with the 2-0 victory, and we have our MVP for Rough Justice with Don Salvador here on the left hand side. 4 hero kills, 136 unit kills. And then going down the list, we have the most heroes killed from Asagel Era here with the Maul. You usually don't see a Maul with the most heroes killed if it's not Robert. But there we go. Rough Justice Asaglia with the most heroes killed in Robot on 0. Where did he go there, Robert? But then on the other side, Guildshow with the MVP here. 1 hero kill, 115 unit kills, which is more than double anyone else got from his team. Nope, not more than double. We got 59 here. They would add up to more, but Guildshow almost double of anyone else. With the only S tier rating. Good job from him, but sadly not supported well enough from the rest. And then we can go down here. We have some heroes on 2 hero kills with Uncooked Bananas, Peepo, Stars, and Prefix, I think. That should be all 4. There we go. And then I would say we can go to the post-battle analysis and see what happened there exactly. And yeah, I mean, the picture is clear here on the right side. APM just losing constantly so much more than Rough Justice. Every single fight, every single engagement, everything they did, even in the beginning, the green units, the red and pikemen, I think it was. You can see some blue dots on the map there before the supply point. They just got finished off. The ambush didn't work at all. They lost 1 hero in the process even. They lost, it feels like a full unit of red and pikemen there. You just can't throw that one away so easily. And then of course every single fight going in 1 by 1 doesn't work out, and like that we got a 2-0 victory for Rough Justice.